if you were to ask me who the toughest guy was to tackle and whatever, was Jim Brown, I'd say.
He was bigger and faster and stronger than everybody on the field.
Most dominant player to ever step on any athletic field.
We've seen great running backs. We've debated them, argued over them, put them on pedestals. But every single one of us, every man who ever laced up cleats at the highest level, knows there's one name that sits above the conversation, not in it, above it. The standard wasn't set by a rule book or a record book. It was set by one man on one field in one era where they tried everything to bring him down and couldn't. You want to talk about the greatest to ever carry a football? Then you already know who we're talking about.
If you were to ask me who the toughest guy was to tackle and whatever, was Jim Brown, I'd say. And, you know, I played against him in the All-Star, the old Chicago All-Star game. When all the seniors, they played like the previous champions, which were the Cleveland Browns. So we were playing them in Soldiers Field. And I kind of blitzed. And, Brown, they all said, oh, he's just, a runner and this and that. He hooked my arm and started rolling it backwards. And I thought I was going to have a hyper-extended elbow, because he's rolling me over like that. And I'm like, God, this guy's all right. He's going to hurt me. All right, this guy knows what he's doing, and that's Jim Brown, buddy. He was the best.
Kareem, what did Jim Brown personally mean to you?
He's personally, let's start at the beginning. When I was still in grade school, he was the running back I wanted to see on Sundays. And I remember going out, freezing out there in Yankee Stadium, watching Jim Brown run against the Giants. But that was long ago and far away. After Jim retired, he devoted himself to making a difference in the Black community. And his commitment was just extraordinary. It was constant. He never, ever gave up on his effort. He's there at the top in terms of the people that respected him and that followed his lead on so many issues.
It was almost like he was out there playing with kids. They were bouncing off of him. He was bigger than everyone, faster than everyone, and stronger than everyone.
Listen, y'all guys really don't know how badass Jim Brown when he was young. Jim Brown was an ass-kicking motherfucker back then. Yeah.
This before football?
No, this is during football.
During football, okay.
Yeah, and after football, too.
He wasn't playing.
Yeah, he would smack you. He was just interesting. he was just interesting.
Most dominant player to ever step on any athletic field. When you talk about Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen, Eric Dickerson, Tony Dorsett, Walter Payton, there's not one trait that they had that he didn't have.
Every generation produces someone special, someone who makes you stop and stare. But when the old-timers saw those guys, they'd just smile and say, go look at the tape first, then come talk to me.
Jim Brown play, you would say, powerful, fast, yet graceful and violent. He had the ability to run you over.
Guys that are extremely strong may not be as agile. Some guys have all the speed in the world but may not have the balance. Jim had it all.
Obviously, I know he did at a time, but I have a book, and like I said, my son loves football, and it's like the NFL Top 100 book, and I was just going through it and showing pictures. He's always like, Dad, football. And, we're looking, and they just had Jim Brown stats on it, and I was like he led the league in rushing. He only played 8 years, and he led it, I'm pretty sure, every single year, and he was a 3-time MVP.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's not easy to do.
And his stats,
he can act.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, that's right.
He can act.
He's Hollywood Brown,
player too, right? He was.
That's right. Lacrosse at Syracuse. So, but his stats also hold up. And I think they only played 14-game seasons when he was in the NFL too. So his stats are still comparative with too much games. But
that at the same time, he did play with white DBs.
Yeah, I mean,
there's new one coming.
until you lined up next to this guy and watched him time after time in very tough, crucial situations make it come out all right for the Cleveland Browns, you can't fully respect how good he was. If we had the capabilities today to show him from 15 different angles, people would say that was not a human.
Records get broken, legacies fade, but there are certain names that never shrink. Decades later, rookies are still being compared to him. Decades. That's not a career. That's a monument.
Still loved him because he was a lax guy. I mean, he was a four-sport athlete in college, right?
What was his 4 sports he played? And he played all 4 at Syracuse too, which is absurd.
Lacrosse, football, basketball, and track.
How do you do that? How do you play 4 sports in college? Like how?
Jim Brown did. That's how.
How?
He's Jim Brown. He's like Chuck Norris.
I bet he played lacrosse like he kind of like a football player. Like
no,
you know when a football player is playing basketball though, they could still be the best basketball player in the court, but you could tell they're a football player.
No, Jim
like
Brown.
Myself.
Jim Brown was the best lacrosse player in the world.
But I bet you he was like playing like a football player though. Like when he was getting that lacrosse stick, he was probably carrying it like a football a little bit, like right into his chest, and just kind of like stiff arming guys away from him and just running down the field and then shooting it and scoring. I feel like that's how he played.
I mean, I bet you he was just unstoppable. I mean, he shot a 77 on his 5th time ever playing golf. A 77, that's 5 over par? Like, that's when you know you're just touched by God.
His running style, his determination, it really makes you realize what football is all about. Transition to life after football is very difficult for a lot of ball players. Make a difference in civil rights. To me, he was one of the first players to show that the transition, that after football, life is not over. Matter of fact, life is just beginning.
Jim thought on Sundays, and these are his words, that he was a god, that nobody could hurt him, nobody could touch him, nobody was better. And he proved it every Sunday. He always shocked everybody, I think, how fast he was. And then you tack onto that 225 pounds and mean, tough runner.
Ask any defender from that era what it felt like lining up against him. Watch their eyes change, grown decorated men, and they'll tell you it wasn't just the speed, it was knowing that whatever you brought, it wasn't going to be enough.
His principal legacy is going to be what he accomplished as a football player. But Jim Brown was not principally a great football player. Jim Brown was a great man who just also happened to play a great
deal, that kind of a competitiveness, confidence in us, and in the huddle on game day, boy, you'd hear him say it over and over and over. This is our play. This is what we wanted. We called for it. Let's go get it. That kind of thing, and always upbeat, but always pushing.
At the end of every era, when the dust settles and the highlights fade, one question remains. Who was truly the greatest? For generations of players, coaches, and fans who witnessed it firsthand, there was never really a debate. There was football before him, and there was football after him, and the game has never, not once, stopped trying to find another one. It never will.